This is Mike from FearShop.com. Make sure you smash that like button and leave comments. Also, subscribe to the channel and sign up for notifications so you know when the next video drops. Now let's get into it. Today we're talking about St. Patrick's Day horror movies. As you would expect, when you talk about St. Patrick's Day horror movies, this list will be dominated by a lot of Leprechaun movies. That kind of has more to do with not having a ton of horror movies that center around St. Patrick's Day, more so than how amazingly awesome the Leprechaun films are. Not horrible, just not my favorite franchise either. So I'm going to skip over honorable mentions because I was going to throw movies like Muck onto that list and then realized that would kind of be telling people they should be watching movies that I can't even bear to watch myself. So keep in mind, I'm going to also be doing a top 10 list of Irish horror movies that we'll link to below as well. That's not to be confused with St. Patrick's Day horror movies. All the films we're going to talk about reference St. Patrick's Day way more than just your typical Irish lore. So let's get on to the top 10 list. Coming in at number 10, Leprechaun IV in Space. Alrighty then, I'll get this off my chest. If you have a film that should take Leprechaun IV in Space off this list, please post it in the comments below. It hurt me to put it on here, but I did. Top 10 does not always mean the films are groundbreaking or impactful. It just means it's one of those top 10 movies on the list. Technically, top 10 does not explicitly mean 10 great films. With that being said, Leprechaun IV, it's not horrible, it's just silly. I mean, it's pretty much what you expect out of the franchise, right? It's a decent watch, but you're not watching this film every month. Number 9, Leprechaun 5 in the Hood. I have to admit that I thought about this film at the start of the list and said there's no way that this can make it onto the top 10 list. Lo and behold, Leprechaun 5 in the Hood comes in at number 9. Before the Leprechaun went back to the Hood, he had to go to the Hood first. So, talk about jumping the shark. You know, after he was in space, he then went to the Hood. But, you know, with that being said, I did enjoy this one quite a little. The characters were developed fairly well and followed some wannabe musicians. I can always relate to that. Number 8, Leprechaun Origins. So, Leprechaun Origins is a 2014 American slasher film directed by Zach Lefowski, written by Harris Wilkinson, starring Dylan Postal, better known by his wrestling ring name, Hornswoggle. It's a 7th film in the series, and it's a reboot in the Leprechaun series. So WWE Studios president Michael Luisi described the film as a little darker, a little more traditional horror than the Warwick Davis ones that people remember. Not a bad movie. I have to admit, it was a pretty decent watch. It was kind of unexpected. It was a little bit different, which is kind of what we probably wanted out of it. So number 7, the holiday anthology movie simply titled Holidays. The segment itself that we're going to be talking about is aptly titled St. Patrick's Day. So director Gary Short's creepy entry into this 2016 Holidays anthology. This specific segment is about a little girl, creepy as hell little girl, by the way, who teaches her teacher a little lesson about St. Patty and Snakes of Ireland. So it ends up actually being one of the better segments in the anthology, and I cannot begin to describe just how creepy that little girl is. The movie as a whole is very hit or miss, but overall, you know, I love my anthology movies. Just quick little hits, right? You can go, you watch it, you can watch 20 minutes, get a segment or two out of the way, and then come back to it another time. I wish they would make more and more anthologies. All right, number 6. We're digging back a little bit to 1976 with God Told Me To. Larry Cohen wrote and directed God Told Me To, a movie about a string of related murders by different people, which shows a murder taking place at the holiday celebration. A little bit of a stretch, but it does have St. Patrick's Day in the movie, as you'll start to see with some of these other ones. That we do have to take a couple stretches in there. Good movie by Larry Cohen. quite underdirected. Appreciated director. All right, number 5, Leprechaun II from 1994. Leprechaun II is an American black comedy slasher film, second film in the Leprechaun series, directed by Rodman Flender. The film centers around psychopathic leprechaun Warwick Davis hunting for a bride. It's not clear if the leprechaun is the same as in the first film, and none of the film's other characters are seen nor mentioned. The quality of the film really kind of went down quickly from the first one. Some people love this franchise, hence why they made so many movies out of it. So, number 4, Leprechaun III. This one is quite an interesting one, actually. So, an evil leprechaun finds himself in Las Vegas, where he proceeds to cause mischief by killing people, granting twisted wishes, and infecting a young man with his green blood. You start to see a pattern of different locations for these Leprechaun movies, because it gives the crew a chance to inject more silliness into the franchise. The location of Las Vegas makes much more sense than the hood in space. Although I have to admit, Jason X, I love that movie, and I was thinking they were crazy for doing it, but it turns out that the kills, the characters were pretty awesome. With Leprechaun 3, like I had mentioned, Leprechaun 2 is a slight bit of a drop-off from the original one, and Leprechaun 3 kind of came in and was a lot more solid of a movie and fun to watch. I mean, it is a 90s movie through and through, but still a fun watch. Number 3, the little-known Red Clover. So from 2012, Red Clover is kind of like a Leprechaun movie without the campy humor. It was directed by Drew Daywalt. It's about a young woman who accidentally releases a murderous leprechaun. If you're unfamiliar with Drew Daywalt, he makes insanely awesome short films. Mockingbird is one of my personal favorites. Super cool. Followed them on Twitter for years. Just very interesting director that tells some really good stories. Coming in at number 2, the original Leprechaun from 1993. So, this Leprechaun is labeled as an American fantasy comedy slasher film, written and directed by Mark Jones. Obviously stars Warwick Davis in the title role as the Leprechaun, and a surprising debut from one Jennifer Aniston. Davis plays a vengeful leprechaun who believes a family has stolen his pot of gold, and he hunts them. They attempt to locate his gold to vanquish him. The film was originally meant to be more of a straight horror film, but Davis injected humor into the role, and there goes the franchise. I mean, it basically what ended up carrying the franchise for so many movies. So reshoots also added increased gore to appeal to the older audience. It's something to be said about a film that spawned so many sequels. There's certain series that I watch. I've seen all the movies, and I don't get. I'm not, a huge fan of, say, Halloween's and Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, even like the Wishmaster series. Child's Play and Leprechaun, not so much. So they come up a little short, if you know what I mean. Sorry, bad dad joke. So anyways, it's the original Leprechaun's still a fun movie, and let's face it, Jennifer Aniston's kind of easy on the eyes. And coming in at number 1, Maniac Cop from 1988. I had mentioned before a little bit of a stretch in some of these. This is a stretch. So it's directed by William Lustig, written by Larry Cohen, who we've already mentioned in this video. Maniac Cop. It's about a guy who murders people in New York while dressed as a policeman. One of the most pivotal scenes in the movie takes place at a St. Patrick's Day parade, so there's your connection. These Maniac Cop movies are just campy. They're fun. They're meant to have a lot of fun with, and I definitely enjoy the original one quite a bit. So that wraps this one up. I want to hear from you. Post your top 10 St. Patrick's Day horror movies in the comments. Let me know which movies in my list you agree with, which ones you disagree with. That's it for this episode. So make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're sharing this video. Make sure you subscribe. But most of all, make sure you keep it horror.